Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today I wanted to discuss something that honestly I'm kind of surprised I didn't make a video on before now. Maybe just because it kind of seemed like the unsung truth almost, but from the dozens, probably hundreds of comments I've gotten about this particular feature ever since Year 3 content was announced for The Division 2, I'm completely confident in saying that the inclusion of this feature in the coming update for the game would instantly make it a huge success. It's something people have been wanting for years, it's something that would benefit both the players and the game moving forward, and it just seems like a no-brainer. And while it's certainly not confirmed for this update, hardly anything is, I do think it has a legitimate chance of happening, and that's what I want to discuss today. Quick reminder to everyone that we are running a giveaway currently in celebration of reaching 10,000 subscribers on the channel. The giveaway is for a $50 gift card to the gaming platform of your choice, and the three possible entries you can do are to subscribe here on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, and follow me on TikTok. Each of those will gain you an additional entry. Links in the description to those socials if you need them, and if you want more in-depth details on the giveaway, I will link my recent video in the top corner now where I fully explain it. Thanks. Alright, without further ado, let's get straight to it. I bet a lot of you already know what I'm going to say. Crossplay, which I assume also comes with cross-save. I suppose I don't entirely know how integrated or separate those features are to develop, but either way, crossplay and or cross-save, preferably both, would be a huge win for The Division 2. Not only is it like the ideal thing you'd want in a game like this, where you're collecting loot, progressing your character, racking up achievements and everything, you want to be able to access that on multiple platforms. If someone owns an Xbox and a PC, they don't want to run two separate accounts. It would be so cool if you had the ability to just port the save data on your Ubisoft profile to other platforms and access the same characters on each. And of course you could have the option to not do it if you do want to have two separate accounts, but having the option to would be amazing. And then as for crossplay, I think everyone knows the benefits at this point. It would connect the user bases on Xbox and PlayStation, let friends and strangers play together. It would ensure the most stable and consistent player bases in match-made content and PvP content at more times, meaning both when new content is hot out of the oven, but also in the middle of content droughts like we are right now. It would just be beneficial for everyone. Now, the one debate that always arises from the crossplay discussion is what you would do with PC. My take, if they were to implement crossplay into The Division 2, allow for crossplay across all platforms, everywhere except the DZ and Conflict. So you could run missions, open world raids with your PC friends if you're on console, and then by default, the DZs and Conflict would only match console platforms and PC platforms together. So Xbox and PlayStation could match together in their own thing, and PC and Stadia and whatever else, whatever platforms there are, could match together in their own deal. And then if you still wanted to do PvP with your PC buddies, you can manually enter into PvP and console players would be put into a PC lobby, right? So there are no headaches with the keyboard and mouse versus controller deal, the extra performance on PC, the hackers, all of that. Unless, of course, you manually choose to enter a PC lobby with your friends, then you wouldn't have to worry about it happening by default. So that's how I would handle a crossplay and cross-save scenario if it were to be implemented into The Division 2. And I truly think it would be a highlight inclusion of the update if it were to be added. Ever since Division 2 released, practically I've seen so many people ask for it. I've gotten so many comments of people saying they want it in the game, saying they'd be more than excited about that than the new content. So clearly the demand is there. And so the other thing I want to discuss is the actual likelihood and logistics of crossplay being added with the coming update. Because as some of you may know from me replying to you over the past few months, I do really think it has a legitimate chance of being one of the features Massive have decided to pursue here. Again, not confirmed, but I personally believe that it's at least moderately likely. And let's talk about why. Primarily, I say that because this update feels like it's something that's very much more in the devs' hands than ones we may have seen in the past. We know that basically all of year 1 of Div 2, Warlords, and seasons 1 through 4 were very meticulously planned and scripted content drops for the game, likely with a decently heavy influence from Ubisoft corporate. And then they tried to shut down the game after Season 4 before realizing how stupid of an idea that was. And then Massive began working on the new content early this year with UB Bucharest. We all know that by now. And so while I'm not saying UB has no influence on this coming update and content, obviously they're involved. They have to be. That's their product, their company. But this current production that's underway is much more spontaneous, you could say, than perhaps the vast majority of all other Division 1 and 2 post-launch content. Everything from 1.3, 1.5, 1.6, 1.8 in the Division 1, TU5, TU6, TU7, TU8, and all of Year 2 and Div 2, that stuff was all very planned out. And I'll tell you, the one patch that comes to mind that would fit in this, kind of spontaneous category is 1.4. From the Division 1. That update was not planned from the beginning, or I should say it was supposed to be the survival update, but then Massive recognized that the game was in need of some serious overhauls after 1.3, and so they bumped survival, delayed that later into the year, and took the reins to deliver the game the update it sorely needed to revitalize the experience. And while we're obviously in a very different circumstance here, this coming update for Division 2 gives me those same vibes of spontaneity, where UB has kind of given Massive the green light, but Massive is very much taking charge on delivering the game what they feel it needs. Yannick's comment earlier this year kind of reinforced that sentiment, and that's kind of largely what I'm basing this off of, where he said, you know, there's a lot we want to do with this update. We want to deliver a good update for our players that should substantially impact the game. I'm paraphrasing, of course, link in the top corner if you want to recap on all of that info, but it very much seems like Massive is out to deliver a player-focused patch. We've asked for more replayable content in game modes, and now we're getting a new game mode. People have asked for further changes to building and gear ever since Gear 2.0 dropped. We're receiving something in that realm now, we know. And people have asked for crossplay and cross-save for a long time. I have no doubt that by now, Massive is well aware of the demand and popularity of the idea of those being added to the game. The big question mark is, could they do it? And how much resources would that take? Now, I can't answer those questions. Obviously, that's not my area of expertise, but if it's feasible, which I imagine it has to be to some degree, then the greater question is, does Massive view crossplay as something important to deliver to the players? And I'd wager they do. They're not stupid, as many love to shout from the rooftops. They know what we want, even if they're not always able to deliver. They no doubt are aware of the benefits crossplay and cross-save could bring to the popularity in the game beyond the existing community, and so ultimately the question is cross-save one of those many surprises Yannick teased earlier in the year? Does the new game mode and building options being just the tip of the iceberg, as he put it, indicate that something like crossplay could be another big selling point for this update? If we were to ever get crossplay in the Division 2, now feels like the time when it would happen. Given all the factors I've laid out in this video, it's just one of those things that could have the real potential to revitalize this 2.5-year-old game beyond the excitement of that pre-existing fan base is going to bring for the new game mode, the new content, and everything else that's coming in this new update. So for all those reasons, I'm sticking with my story that I believe crossplay has a legitimate chance of being included in the upcoming Division 2 update. It's not impossible, and it's certainly not confirmed, but a nice sweet spot in between. The players are well aware of its benefits, I bet the developers are too, but the real question is it something they can work into the pre-existing infrastructure and deliver in a high quality capacity for this update? And that, my friends, we will just have to wait and see. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on to be updated every time I upload. Let me know your thoughts about the discussion of crossplay and cross-save in the Division 2. Are you one of those people who think that this is like a top priority feature that should be added to the game, or is it less important to you? Also, what do you think the chances are we're going to see Massive go to implement it in this coming update? Leave all of your thoughts on that down below. As always, I'll be very curious to hear what everyone will have to say. Alright, that's going to do it for me, everyone. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.